ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be talking about the Bandai Movie Monster series Godzilla Store exclusive, Gorosaurus! Gorosaurus 1968 is back and in full vinyl form. Dazzling in his greens, tans, whites, and flesh tones, Gorosaurus has finally walked his lovable, doofy face into the movie monster series for the very first time, as he was originally released in 1993's lineup of the Godzilla collection, and again in 1998 as a Bandai HG figure. This lovely release is all thanks to the fans, because starting on February 1st, the Godzilla Store launched a poll through their Godzilla Plus app to determine one of the next movie monster series figures. The options were Mothra 1961, Godzilla 1962, Ebirah 1968, Gorosaurus 1968, Hedorah 1971, Godzilla 1984, King Ghidorah 1991, Super Mechagodzilla, and GMK Baragon. And clearly, Gorosaurus won. Although ironically enough, that Hedorah would be shown off at Godzilla Day and is to be released next March. Gorosaurus has made multiple appearances across his lengthy career, but I feel his most popular appearance was of course in Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. Not Melee. I almost said Melee. And up first, let's take a look at this tag, and on the front of the tag, we have a picture of Gorosaurus, and as you can see, it says Gorosaurus and Godzilla 2021. And on the back, it says Bandai, Movie Monster Series, a whole bunch of other stuff. We got the cutout for Gorosaurus' back over here. Not too much crazy going on the inside of the tag, but as we always do, since this is a Godzilla Store exclusive, we've got to give him the ample double sleeve treatment. Time to kangaroo kick yourself into some extra tag protection there, Gorosaurus. Now, as I stated in my short review that I posted earlier today, link in the description below, I do feel that Bandai was going more for an homage to the original Bandai The Godzilla Collection Gorosaurus that was released in 1993, instead of a more movie-accurate palette like the Playmates Gorosaurus received. Don't worry, we'll get back to him in a second. And before I move any further, this came with Gorosaurus. I don't know what's going on here. I imagine it's something Japanese exclusive, but we got a map of where the Godzilla store is, and we got some pictures of the Godzilla store, got some scannables here. Anybody who can scan that, by all means, go ahead and do so. Loving, and I mean loving, the detail on this figure. Nice, deep, crackly looking scales everywhere. I love it. And I love even more that there are certain parts of Gorosaurus that are highlighted in a brighter green as compared to the dark forest green that the figure was obviously casted in. I do feel Bandai definitely fared a lot better when it comes to looking at their Gorosaurus from the front end. This looks a lot better as compared to, well, that. I think he looks great. Goofy, yeah, but great nonetheless. Safe for that flesh tone little dribble on the lips over here. But everything else going on in terms of the head, I like. I do feel the head could have been a little bit bigger. Maybe that's just my Playmates bias speaking here, but I do feel Gorosaurus could have used a bit of a beefier noggin. But that's just a nitpick and not a complaint. Again, I love that we're seeing brighter highlights of green on this figure. And I like that light green highlight so much to the point where I wish it was used a little bit more. And as you can see, that light green highlight stops right at the base of the tail. Bandai, I swear to Goj, if you start regressing on me after giving us 1991 Godzilla with the fully painted tail, we're going to be trading fists. Or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or whatever. I'm gonna be upset. But just to give you all a better look at that, you can see that light green, and then you can see the rest of the tail is not painted at all. In fact, the entire underside of the tail is not painted at all. Nope, not even a smidgen. Although I am happy that the inside of the thighs were painted. That's a nice change. And I am rather happy that we're seeing some of that tan on the arms, but this is a little weird. The Gorosaurus armpits on this arm are painted, but the bottom of it is not. While the Gorosaurus pits on the opposite arm are not painted, but the bottom of the arm is. Pick and choose what gets painted and what doesn't get painted, Bandai. Come on, let's be a little consistent here. Even with that minute little complaint and or nitpick, it is nice to see the arms painted at least a little bit. And then we've got the neck and throat painted over here. Seeing a lot of really nice detail. Very, very nice looking. I don't mean to go all out on this lower jaw, but look at that detail. Just fantastic. Yes. Now, of course, the claws are going to be painted, as are these funky-looking toes. And I know I already talked about the mouth, but yes, the teeth are painted this very fungal infection, yellowish gold mustardy color. That was both disgusting and a little bit too much of color variation. Let's just say mustard yellow. Maybe not mustard, yeah, they're yellow. They are yellow and they are painted mostly nice. Yet again, the little drivel over here is indeed a thing. And then, of course, we have this tongue, which... it kind of looks like Gorosaurus is in the middle of projectile vomiting a yogurt-coated hot dog. That's probably a thing. While this is something that was present on the original Godzilla collection Gorosaurus, don't know if I'm a fan of the tongue there. Look at those soulless, dark, regretless eyes. He's going to kangaroo kick somebody with absolutely no remorse. Thankfully, that kangaroo kick is probably saved for Ghidorah. Or the guy that runs G-Fest. I think he deserves it a little bit more. The Duke claws this time around were not painted like they were on the Playmates version. Playmates check and mate there, Bandai. And I just want to do a quick pass through on everything just so I know I didn't miss anything. Here's something that I did miss. I really like the folds over here. It looks like folding rubber. Very, very nice. And they're honestly not all that noticeable. It's something that you really have to look at the figure from the top end to really get an eyeful of. Oh yeah, I know y'all can see that. We'll get to that in a second. Overall, when it comes to paint in detail, I think I'm going to give Gorosaurus a half a star in terms of paint and a solid star in terms of detail. Whoa, shocker. At the end of the day, I do like how this thing looks, but I feel like they just could have gone a little bit more of the extra mile. And no, it's not my Playmates preference peeking through, it's just, I really like that light green, and I really would have loved to see more of that. But anyway, let's move on to articulation. Blue seal at the head. Bummer! The arms may move all the way around like so. Second verse. Same as the first. The legs can move all the way around, but just the way that the body was molded and everything, this is going to create some friction, and I don't want to be moving the legs any further than I already have because I don't want this getting damaged or scraped off. And we're gonna get no glue seal at the tail, no glue seal at the tail. The tail's gonna go all the way around. That's awesome. I was fully prepared to give Kangaroo Lizard Boy a half a star in terms of articulation because of the glue seal at the head, but since the tail is movable, which is somewhat of a yes and no thing when it comes to the movie monster series these days, I'm gonna have to give him a solid star in terms of articulation. A lot more than I was expecting. In fact, I was expecting the head over the tail. Got reversed this time. Go figure. 2 solid stars for the Godzilla store exclusive Gorosaurus and a half a star in terms of paint. Still a high recommend from me. It's the very first movie monster series Gorosaurus. It's the first vinyl Gorosaurus from Bandai since technically 1998 and 1993. I find that to be rather sad. Gorosaurus deserves a lot more love. But now that the major review is done, let's compare this guy to his Playmates counterpart. It honestly makes my heart sing to see so many people more in favor of the Playmates version. I've seen a lot of people voicing their opinions that they just like the Playmates version more. And even me, as a Bandai whore, that's awesome, man. I'm really glad people are warming up to Playmates. And I really can't blame them either because their Gorosaurus is really dang good in comparison. You know, maybe I was being a little rough on Bandai Goro. I feel like if his head was even a little bit bigger, it just wouldn't look right. Properly proportioned, yes. And while I do wish both of them had a little bit more paint on them, I really can't sit here and lie to you all and say that I'm disappointed in any way, shape, or form. This year, 2021, we got 2 new Jet Jaguar figures, we got a new Megalon figure, we're getting another Godzilla 1975 figure, 2 Gorosaurus figures. How can I be upset at the presence of 2 Gorosaurus figures, 2 brand new Gorosaurus figures in my collection? I can't. It's impossible. I really can't choose which one I like more because I like them both for different reasons. I'm just happy we have new Gorosaurus. But honestly, I still do have to give it to Playmates. From the droopy lower jaw to the even deader look in his eyes, I think they actually really knocked it out of the park. And I do personally enjoy the much brighter tan underbelly of Playmates Goro over Bandai Goro. I love that they actually painted the Duke claws on the Playmates version versus the Bandai version. And yes, Bandai Bandai Goro is not screen accurate, but I'm very finicky with screen accuracy. I don't need it, and Bandai wasn't exactly touting that this thing would be screen accurate. I mean, we've seen fully painted pictures and footage of this thing for a couple weeks now, and I knew exactly what I was getting into, so I like both of them equally. The Playmates version is my more movie accurate Gorosaurus, while my Bandai version is my more fun and based on an older figure Gorosaurus. That was a really long-winded name. Honestly, I like them both. They're so very different from one another and more than just paint and detail, and two new Gorosaurus figures, man. Don't make me choose. Different stances, different paint apps, different molds, all together. Playmates and Bandai are becoming the ultimate power couple in terms of just really affordable figures. And this is the timeline that I am happy to be living in. I am personally very happy with this release. Would I have wanted more out of it? Sure, just a little bit, but that's just me being greedy. I have two vividly different Gorosaurus figures in my collection, and that's all that matters. I do so hope you all enjoyed this video. Fret not, the battle-damaged 1975 Mechagodzilla is on his way. He should be here by Monday or Tuesday. I'll have a review up for him the day he comes in, and then I'll do SH Figure Arts Trigger. Patrons, thank you so much for becoming ShinRobjira patrons. I really do appreciate it. Social media, merch pages will all be linked in the description below. And what else is there to say? Two new Goros. That's a win for me, bruh. Peace.